Alright, the second day for Python मेरा roommate सो रहा है. So I'll be turning off this light and let's just jump into the tutorial and VS Code right now. I won't be talking much. Let's go for basic revision.
to print. Alright everybody, in this topic. Hey everybody, so today I gotta explain conditional expressions in Python. A conditional expression is a one-line shortcut for using an if-else statement. If you're familiar with other programming languages, this is also known as the ternary operator. It behaves... Hey everybody, in this topic, I'm going to cover a few useful string methods that you may be interested in. Then at the end of this video, we will work on an exercise where we will validate some user input. As we know, a string is just a series of characters. Let's ask a user for their full name. Name equals input. Enter your full name. The first method I'll show you, well, technically this is a function. The length function will give us the length of a string. How many characters is it? We will find the length of our variable name after the user types in some input. This function returns an integer. I'll store that result within a variable, let's just say result. Then I will print whatever the result is. Why don't you go ahead and type in your full name? The length of this string, in my example, is 8 characters. That does include spaces too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you ever need the length of a string, there is the length function. Let's move on. If we were to type our variable, name, followed by a dot, we have access to a whole bunch of different methods. We have the find method. The find method will return the first occurrence of a given character, the position. Let's find any spaces. I'll store the results within a variable named result. I will type in my full name. The first occurrence of a space, that's what we set, is at position 3. When working with indexes, we always begin with 0. This first character would have an index of 0, then 1, 2, 3. That's why the find method returned 3 in place of 4. Let's find the first occurrence of a capital B. See, it's 0. How about O? For me, that would be 2. So remember, it's always the first occurrence. If you need the last occurrence, there is a different method, which is rFind. R meaning reverse. We will find the last occurrence of an O. That has a position of 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If Python isn't able to locate a given character, it will return -1. Let's find any, I don't know, Q's. Python could not find any lowercase q's. The rFind method will return -1 if there are no results. We can capitalize the first letter in a string by using the capitalize function. Name dot capitalize. This method will return a string. I will reassign that to name. Then we will print our name capitalized. I'll be sure to type in my name, all lowercase. Since this is all one string, only the first letter is capitalized, even though I'm including a first and last name. The upper method will take all of the characters in a string, then make them all uppercase. Follow your variable that contains a string, followed by dot upper. Then I will reassign the result to my name variable to overwrite it. Enter your full name. All of the letters are now uppercase. There is also lower to make all of the characters lowercase. Name equals name dot lower. Yep, all the characters are lowercase now. The isDigit method will return either true or false if a string contains only digits. The result is a Boolean, true or false. I'll store that within a variable named result, then print result. So if I were to type in my full name, isDigit returns false. There are not only digits within that string. If my string was some combination of alphabetical characters and numbers, this method will still return false. It only returns true if my string only contains digits. I'll just type in 1, 2, 3. See, that's true. That is the isDigit method. Otherwise, we have isAlpha. Name.isAlpha. The isAlpha method will return a Boolean, true or false, depending if a string contains only alphabetical characters. I'll type in my full name. So the reason that this came up false is because my full name contains a space, which is not an alphabetical character. If I typed in my full name, excluding any spaces, this would now be true. IsAlpha would also return false if my name contained any sort of digits, for a 1, 2, 3, and that is also false. That is the isAlpha method. Now let's ask for a phone number. phone number equals input, enter your phone number. With the phone number, they typically contain dashes. Let's count how many dashes are going to be in somebody's phone number. Phone number dot count method. Let's count the amount of dashes. So place a character within the count method. This method will return an integer. Let's store that within a variable. Results equals phone number dot count method. So type in some phone number, 1-234-567-8901. We have 3 dashes within the string. 1, 2, 3. That is the count method. We can count how many characters are within a string. We also have the replace method. Honestly, the replace method is probably one of the most useful methods of strings. We can replace any occurrence with one character with another. Replace, let's replace any dashes with maybe a space. This method will return a new string. I'm going to reassign this to our phone number variable. Then print the phone number. Enter your phone number, 1-234-567-8901. So here's my new phone number, but we've replaced all of the dashes with spaces. Even better yet, we could eliminate all the dashes completely by replacing the dashes or another character with an empty string. 1-234-567-8901. Here's our new phone number without any dashes. We've replaced all dashes with an empty string, no characters. If you would like a comprehensive list of all of the string methods available to you, you can use the help function, type in the data type str, meaning string, then I will print whatever the result is. Here's a bunch of methods you might be interested in the future. Capitalize, case fold center, count, encode, ends with, just to name a few. All right, everybody, here's an exercise for you. We will validate some user input. We would like a user to enter in a valid username. However, there's a couple of rules. The username can be no more than 12 characters long. The username must not contain any spaces, and the username must not contain any digits. to print failed to number, they typically contain dashes. Let's count how many dashes are going to be in somebody's phone number. Phone number dot count method. Let's count the amount of dashes. So place a character within the count method. This method will return an integer. Let's store to print failed to retrieve data, and I will print the status code of the response object. So temporarily, I will print data retrieved if it was successful. I can't spell. Okay. We have our data. Data was retrieved. If our status code of our response object is equal to 200, I will take our response object and use the JSON method. Our response is a JSON format. Using this method, we'll convert it to a Python dictionary. It will consist of key-value pairs, much like a JSON file. But I'm going to assign that to a variable of Pokemon data, so it's easier to work with. And then I will print our Pokemon data. So here's the data on Pikachu. It's really difficult to read all this. You can see some keywords. We have abilities, base experience. This is an extremely large dictionary. Once we have our dictionary, I will return that dictionary of Pokemon data back to the place where we call this function, and I will store that as a variable. Pokemon info. Hey everybody, to access the published but I'd rather have that be handled within a different if statement. Rule and that. Hey everybody, in this topic I'm going to explain string indexing. Indexing allows us to access the elements of a sequence using a set of square brackets, also known as the indexing operator. Using this set of square brackets, following a string, there are up to 3 fields that we can fill in. We can access a starting point in the string, an ending point, and a step. Here's an example. Suppose we have a credit card number. Credit number equals, and I'll just make up some number. 1234-5678-9012-3456. Good enough. If I need the first character within the string, I can type the name of my string variable, followed by the indexing operator, which is a set of square brackets. The first position has an index of 0. Computers always start with 0, so that's why the first index is 0. Then I'm going to go ahead and print this. Print credit card number at index of 0. That would be 1. If I were to change the index to be 1, 0, 1, that should be 2. Index 2 would technically be 3. Then 4 is the dash within our string, as you can see here. With the indexing operator, there's up to 3 fields that we can fill in: a start and a step. If you have just one field listed without any colons, it's assumed you're filling in the starting position. So now what if you would like the first 4 digits? Digits of the string? Well, we would type the name of our string variable, indexing operator. We'll need a starting index, colon, then an ending index. The first 4 digits would be 0, colon, 4. Then I will print this. And I'm just going to turn this first line into a comment. Yeah, there we go. We have the first 4 digits of our credit card number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just so you know, with the ending index, this index is exclusive. This first number would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we did not include that dash within the number. The starting index is inclusive. The ending index is exclusive. So you can omit the 0 in the beginning. You could just say colon 4. Python assumes the starting position will be the beginning of the string. So that would work too. Let's get the next set of digits, 5, 6, 7, 8. Credit number, indexing operator. Let's find where the starting index would be. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, colon, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we will print whatever is here. The next set of digits is 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe we need the last 12 digits. Well, what we could do in that case, we will take our string variable, credit number, set the starting index to be, let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, colon. If you need everything up to the end of the string, you don't need to list an ending index, just be sure to add that colon. Python then assumes you need everything up to the end of the string. So I will print whatever we have. Then we should have everything besides the first 4 digits. Yep, 5678 9012 3456. You could also use a negative index. Credit number. If you need the last character in a string, you would set the index to be -1. Then I will print this. Print credit number at index of -1. That would be 6. -2 is 5. -3 is 4. -4 is 3. And then -5 would be that dash right here.
Okay.